Moved by Henry, seconded by Mike. That this committee of adjustment meeting held on April 26, 2023, come to order at 6:01 p.m. All in favor? Carried. Are there any disclosures of pecuniary interest this evening from any of the members? No. Let the record show none were shown. May I have a mover and seconder to adopt the minutes from the previous committee of adjustment meeting? Moved by Henry, seconded by Mike. That the committee of adjustment meetings dated March 22nd, 2023 be adopted as presented. All in favor? Carried. Welcome to this committee of adjustment meeting to allow the public for an opportunity to express their views regarding the proposed minor variances and consents within the township of Springwater. Each applicant and their agent, if applicable, will be given the opportunity to present the applications to the committee and public. Additional information on each of the applications, including any presentation materials, are available in the committee agenda on the township's website. Following those members of the public who registered to make an oral submission prior to 5:30 yesterday, April 25th, 2023, will be given the opportunity to do so. All oral submissions will be included in this evening's minutes and form part of the public record, including the name and address of the speaker, as information collected under the Municipal Freedom Information and Protection of Privacy Act. The minutes of the meeting will be posted on the township's website. All comments or questions should be addressed through the chair. Will the Secretary Treasurer please introduce the first application, item number 4.1 on the agenda?
Excuse me, Madam Secretary Treasurer. We cannot hear you over the audio on our side here. No, now we can. There we go.
Hear me now?
Yep.
Okay, sorry about that. All right.
No problem.
I'll start over then. Item 4.1 on the agenda is minor variance application AO723 submitted by HBNG Halborn Group on behalf of Al Mayo, owner of Lands Known Municipally as 2085 South Orlake Road. The purpose and effect of the application is to permit an accessory building without the establishment of a main use on the property. The structure measures approximately 530 square feet.
Have any additional correspondence and or comments been received?
There have been no additional correspondence or comments.
Can I please have the applicant introduce themselves and provide comment, if any? Thank you.
Good afternoon, Chair and Committee. I'm Giuseppe Russo from HBNG, and I'm representing Lydia Mayo for this application. The purpose of the application is to allow an accessory building without the establishment of a main use. Don't think I can share my screen, but there was a attachment showing the site plan of where the accessory building will be, and it conforms to all zoning bylaw provisions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, your site plan was included with the application as part of the staff report with the agenda. So thank you very much. Thank you. Are there any members of the public registered to make an oral submission?
Thank you. There are no members of the public who have registered to make oral submission.
Thank you very much. Is there any members of the committee who wish to make comment or have questions regarding this application to the applicant? I have a couple. So one of the things with an accessory building is, you know, as the staff report has indicated and why we're here, is that it has to be subordinate or secondary to the principal use in the property. My understanding is that through reading the staff report, the applicant has a residence across the street. And when you look at variances, what are the constraints and why can't they comply? If there is residents across the street, that is the principal residence for this applicant, why do they have to have this accessory dwelling on the property? I'm okay with accessory buildings being the sole use on a property when it comes to an agricultural use. You see that often where there could be a barn or an agricultural building that's on the property before the dwelling. Is staff seeing any sort of impact that this could lead if we're allowing for an accessory building on this property when they have residents right across the street, but their principal residence across the street? Or is there a concern that while the applicant has indicated that they're going to use this for wood storage, that they're going to use it for storage of any other sort of recreational equipment or vehicles on the property? Thank you.
Thank you, Chair Farquharson. At this time, staff reviewed the application based on it being a wood storage. No human habitation, I can confirm, would be permitted in the accessory building on the lot, which was one of our major considerations, obviously, when taking a look at the application. The applicant has not proposed any storage of vehicles. Of course, that may be something that could come up in the future. However, that's not how we reviewed it today.
Thank you. I have a question for the applicant. What is the principal use on the property right now? What is the property being used for by the owners? Thank you.
Currently, the property is vacant. It is open. There's no use being there. It strictly is being used for the wood storage on the property at this point, and in the future there may be an application for a dwelling unit, but at this time there are no plans for that.
And just one more question. Where is the wood being harvested that's being stored on that property? Is it being brought in, or is it being wood that's being harvested from the subject lands? Thank you.
As far as I know, I think that the wood is being brought in. I'm not 100% sure at this time.
Thank you. And that's my comment there. The wood is being brought in. If the applicant does have a residence across the street, why can't this be brought and stored on his own property there? Why is the building being required on this property? So that's my comments to the committee, and I have no more. If any of the other committees have any questions. Henry?
Yeah, just one comment with regards to a lot of cases is wood is being brought in. They want to know where it's being brought in from because of diseases. So there could be a concern there also. But so, and the other question I have then, maybe that's for staff then, is this zoned as residential?
Thank you, Member Vanderwill, through Chair Farquharson to yourself. The property is zoned agricultural under the zoning bylaw. So because of the size of the lot, it would typically be considered a lot intended for residential use within the agricultural zone, and not permit the keeping of livestock or an intensive agricultural or forestry use on the lot. So also I'll just add to that, the sale of wood would not be permitted and was something staff considered as well on the property.
Any other questions from the members? No? And I have a motion from the committee members in regards to this application. Mike?
Yeah, I make the motion that that we approve the applicant's request as per the planning committee report.
Yeah, you seconder? Moved by Mike, seconded by Brad. That the Committee of Adjustment, having given consideration to the applicable provisions of Section 45 of the Planning Act, the official plan of the Township of Springwater, the characteristics of the land in question and surrounding and its surroundings as addressed in the planning report on the application dated April 26, 2023. The correspondence received and information presented at the hearing held on April 26, 2023, and the discussion on the matter hereby approve application AO7/23 as applied for. All in favor? All opposed? Carried. Thank you very much. Will the Secretary Treasurer please introduce the next application, item number 4.2 on the agenda?
Thank you, Chair. Item 4.2 on the agenda is consent application BO623, submitted by D Spring on behalf of K Trace, D Trace, and V Nuff, owner of lands known municipally as 2080 Floss Road, 11 West. The purpose of the application is for approval of a surplus farm dwelling consent to sever a parcel of land consisting of approximately 3.12 acres and 50 feet of lot frontage along Floss Road, 11 West, containing the existing dwelling, barn, and a detached accessory building. The applicant proposes to retain approximately 97.29 acres of vacant farmland.
Have any additional correspondence and or comments been received by the township?
Yes, the drainage superintendent stated that the property is not assessed into any municipal drain. Simcoe County has no concerns with the application, subject to the retained lands being rezoned to prohibit a residential dwelling as a condition of consent. And Hydro One stated no concerns.
Thank you very much, Madam Secretary Treasurer. Can I please have the applicant introduce themselves and provide comment on the application if there's any? Thank you. Thank you. So I don't think the mic is on, so technical difficulty. So while we heard you, everyone online didn't. So just give us a second to get that on there. It sounded really nice though.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, why don't we do that while we're trying to figure this out? Yeah, sorry, if you want to go to the side table there and we'll turn the mic on there for you.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Do you want me to read? Discuss?
Yeah,
Okay.
because everyone that was online didn't
Yeah, no
hear
problem.
you, so.
Yeah, through the chair, my name's Dave Spring. This is Dan Trace. The application is for a surplus farm dwelling. We are purchasing this property, and the farmhouse and the outbuildings are surplus to our needs. They are going to be, the application is to sever those, and they will be retained by the vendor, Mr. Trace, and we will add the farmland to our holdings. We're expanding farmers, and we do not need these buildings or the house. So the severance will be approximately 3 acres, and there will be a drawing in your package for this application, and we will be retaining the existing farmland.
Thank you very much. Do you have anything to add as well, or did he cover everything for you?
He basically covered everything.
Okay, perfect. Okay, thank you very much. Are there any members of the public who registered to make an oral submission?
Thank you. There are no members of the public who have registered to make oral submission.
Thank you very much. Do any members of the committee wish to comment or have any questions concerning the application? None as well from me. Can I have a motion from the committee, please? Yes, Henry? Can I have a seconder? Brad? So moved by Henry, seconded by Brad, that the Committee of Adjustment having given consideration to the applicable provisions of section 53 of the Planning Act, the official plan of the Township of Springwater, the characteristics of the subject land and its surroundings as addressed in the planning report on the subject application dated April 26, 2023, the correspondence received and the information presented at the hearing on April 26, 2023, and the discussion on the matter hereby approve the application as applied for, subject to the following conditions. Condition number 1, that the applicant meet all the requirements, financial or otherwise, of the municipality. Condition number 2, that the applicant provide 2 copies of the registered survey of the conveyance parcels prepared by an Ontario land surveyor. Condition 3, that the owner applicant satisfy and be responsible for all costs to satisfy section 65 of the Drainage Act 1990 if applicable. Condition 4, that the applicant rezone the retained farmlands to an agricultural consolidation AC zone to prohibit new residential uses. And condition 5, that the applicant rezone the severed lands to the environmental, rezone the severed residential lands to the agricultural exception A-XY zone to recognize the size of the existing accessory structures, which is the barn and the shed, and prohibit the keeping of livestock within them, and to recognize a deficient lot frontage. All in favor? Carried. Thank you very much. Sorry for the technical difficulties right at the start there. So next item is correspondence. May I have a mover and seconder to receive item 5.1 as information? Moved by Mike, seconded by Brad. That the Committee of Adjustment motion here. Yeah, the Committee of Adjustment receive item 5.1 consent application B17/21 decision of the Ontario Land Tribunal as information. All in favor? Carried. It's just for information. Under other business, may I please have Director Spagnell introduce the next topic on our agenda, the Committee of Adjustment Training Budget and OCA Conference. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair Ferguson, and thank you, committee members. The staff has been receiving requests from various members of the committee regarding the training budget and opportunities to potentially participate in the OCA conference. The staff's taken a look at the budget, and essentially for conferences, there's only enough budgeting dollars available for one staff member and one committee member to attend the conference this year, which is in Niagara Falls. That said, there is some leftover budget dollars if committee members would like to participate in any other opportunities for training that may interest them. So I'm basically approaching the committee just to provide that information related to the budget, and also extend an invitation where if there are committee members that would like some training, to reach out to staff, and we can provide some options that the committee members may be interested in, or accommodate any requests for additional training that you would like to participate in. I am available to answer any questions that committee has. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Spagnell. Is there any questions from the committee members? Brad?
The only comment I have is I'm not available to go to the conference, so you don't have to worry about me if somebody else is interested in attending.
Thanks, Brad. Yeah, I've attended these conferences professionally, and OCA does put on a very good conference, and it's really good for the committee members to learn. There's a lot of good seminars and topics that they do offer there. Director Spagnell is the budget to cover the conference, but OCA does have kind of like symposiums or a 1 or 2 day event that they do have. So if that is offered, or if it's offered at a cheaper rate, if they're going to have virtual training sessions, is that something that staff will advise that there's budget for later on? Thank you.
Chair Farquharson, thank you for the question. Staff can definitely take a look at those opportunities for symposiums or webinars and whatnot, and offer those and provide a list for committee members if they're interested to participate.
Thank you very much. Any other questions?
Not a question, but I'd be willing to attend. Just I think it'd be helpful, whether it's this year or next year, depending on who else wants to go. Helpful in this role, and so depending on who else wants to go, I'll throw my name in the hat.
Through you to Director Spagnell, are we looking to make a decision tonight, or is it one of those things we just discuss amongst ourselves and then advise staff? What direction is staff looking for from the committee tonight?
Well, I think, and I'd have to just, I can't remember if, or just to provide clarification, I believe we did get requests from 2 committee members. Those were submitted to Secretary Treasurer Berenger. So I think the best thing would be is for Secretary Treasurer Berenger to contact those committee members and just indicate to them that there is an opportunity and possibly sort that out through the Secretary Treasurer, and then we can make arrangements for them to attend.
Thank you very much. You know, I don't need to attend. If I want to attend, I can actually do it through my own place of employment if I really want to attend it. So it doesn't need to be put on the taxpayer dollars for Springwater. But if any of the other committee members want to attend, then they can discuss that with staff. Henry?
You chair, is there a way that I can watch it at home, like certain sessions of that meeting?
Madam Secretary Treasurer?
I don't believe you can, as it's taking place. Like, I don't think it's going to be a live event, but I know that they do send me the materials and the presentation slides, and I can provide that information with you guys.
Yeah, I would like that. I think it's just that way I can go through it and I can learn stuff from that instead of actually being there.
Perfect, thank you. So staff will keep an eye on that if there is any additional material that they provide, or if all of a sudden they decide to do an online workshop, staff can provide that information to us. And that's the next item on here is adjournment. So may I have a mover and a seconder to adjourn this meeting? Moved by Henry. Seconded by Mike. That this Committee of Adjustment meeting held on April 26, 2023 does now adjourn at 6:23 p.m. All in favor? Carried. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a good night.
Night, everyone.
Good night.